I'm going to teach you what Harvard School wants. School is in session. Four things. Four things you won't learn in Harvard Business School. Get ready. Share this out. Share. Let's go. Do something. Make your life worth something. Share and like. Follow. Like. Pin it. Whatever it is you guys do. Pin, share. Talk about it. Tweet it out there. Do it now. Alrighty, boys and girls. School is in session. School is in session right here and right now. Today, in this session, we're going to talk about four things that Harvard Business School will not teach you, can't. And this is one of the most vital things that you really need to know to have a success in business, in the business career, in the business field, or as an entrepreneur, especially as an entrepreneur. But a lot of people need to understand these things. It strikes me so interesting how so many people just don't get it. You guys don't get it. And I'm gonna refer to something that they've been saying, bandying about for months and months now, and really shows a lot of ignorance in terms of the understanding the entrepreneurial mindset. So we're going to clear that up here today, and we're going to give you quite an education on how to succeed in business. Let's go to that now. Let's head on over to the article that we use. We always try to use an article so you guys don't just think I'm talking out of the top of my head. We're again at Forbes. We just finished a broadcast on and another article on Forbes, and here we are again. And this article is entitled "Four Things Your Business Degree Won't Teach You." Of course, I picked on Harvard University, didn't I? But in any case, Four Things Your Business Degree Won't Teach You by Jody Cook, another contributor to Forbes. And her byline is "I explore concepts in entrepreneurship, happiness, and lifestyle design." And so we welcome her contribution. It says here, she starts, "If you want to become a business owner, you might be considering starting a course or going back to university to learn how to do it. With establishments all over the world offering various forms of business studies and business management degrees, how do you ensure you get the most out of your course? How do you make sure it's worth the huge investment?" Because I know a lot of people have been talking about going back to school. Nothing wrong with going back to school. Going back to school or finishing the degree is always good. Always a good thing. But if, in particular, if your degree has to do with anything that's moving forward, like business, computers, stuff like that, you have to understand or come to grips with a certain reality, and that is that these things are moving so quickly. Talking about computers, for example, computer technology, IT, and all that, these things are moving so quickly. Every couple of months, the old stuff begins getting old because there's new developments, there's new implementations, there's new hardware, new software. So you have to understand that going to school for certain types of careers or education or preparation can be a mixed bag. simply because of the points that she makes. I could say it myself, but I let her make it. Most of the courses will teach you the basics of marketing here and talking about business, supply and demand, financial aid management, accountancy, as well as statistics, human relation, HR, and organizational psychology. Most establishments will ensure you leave with a sound theoretical knowledge of business concepts in order to pass your degree. And this is what you have to understand. The schools are set up to help you pass the requirements for their accredited granting of your degree. It's very important. It doesn't mean that what you learn is 100% applicable to the field. In this case, the business field. In the IT case, into the IT field. A lot of people went to school. I know a lot of people went to school thinking that computers was the thing to study. They first thing they did wrong was thinking that the 4 year course was all they needed, which is obviously not all that you need. And anything now that you go to college for, you're gonna have to go to college for 6 years, folks. Don't just settle for the 4 year. You need the 6 years, so that's number one. And really, those last 2 years are the more practical ones because the first four is historical and in sometimes is archaeological. Okay, in some cases. And speaking precisely here about the business degree, so that you can learn how to run a business and maybe start your own business, you have to understand that the university has to spend time in creating courses. This is what she says. She says, I graduated. The number one thing she says, number one, what constitutes a viable business right now? Okay. So again, that's the first thing that they won't teach you. Okay. Because for some reason, they don't want to let you know that what you're learning here will not help you out there. See, that's something that has to be understood. I can't believe what happened to all the artists, the graphical artists out there when computers started coming out. You know what I'm trying to say? Because there was a lot of changes that went on. But these guys that were in school, they were still learning the old-fashioned way. You understand? So think about it. Think about that things are changing. There are certain fields that will change because of computers. And now with the AI is the new thing. Is your pursuit in college going to be affected by AI, artificial intelligence? Think about it because you need to understand these realities. So the first thing you have to that you won't be taught is what constitutes a viable business today. Okay, I graduated in 2010 and started a social media agency in 2011. But social media marketing wasn't mentioned once in my business degree. Course material has to be thought up, written, compiled, and turned because social media was the new thing. They weren't covering that in college when she went. Actually, and that became in her area one of her most important activities. Yet she didn't learn that activity in college. So you have to understand that. So course material has to be thought up, written, compiled, and turned into lectures and tutorials. That means that most of your stuff that you're learning in a university, you have to make a big deal. Oh, accredited universities. My the accredited university. I have an accredited course. Most of that stuff is old. It has to be old because how else can you have the accreditation without all these things? And on top of all these things that she says here, what she didn't mention because she doesn't know it, I do because I'm creating my own university, right? I know the information. She doesn't know it. I'm going to tell you what it is here. After all this is done, they have to submit the course for accreditation. So who is reviewing this? People who are out there now in social media marketing? No. These are the old fogies who are doing it the old way. This is what you guys have to understand. Accreditation is good, but realize what it means. It means that people who are old in the business in this field of knowledge, they're checking to make sure that the old information is there. That's it. It has nothing to do with new stuff, because the new stuff cannot be accredited. Hello, you see, the new things cannot get accredited because the accreditors don't know about it. It's simple as that. People, I try to educate people all the time, but it's just a hard sell. It's a hard sell. It says here it then has to be adapted into assignments and mark schemes. This all takes time. You might find that your lectures and assignments are based on concepts and trends from a few years ago and aren't reflective of what is going on right now. It says this is reality. This is what you guys got to understand. So there's a big time lag in business education as well in other fields. The best universities work closely with real businesses in business currently, and they will be able to at least try to bring up to date information or include it into the material, but it really cannot be done that simply because of the accreditation issue. Here's where accreditation doesn't help you, because it doesn't give you the most up to date information. It can't. So that's the way it is. Forward-thinking, progressive companies are working on innovation to benefit their products and customers, not to inform higher education. And this goes into another point, the number two. What's the second issue? The second issue is thinking on your feet. What most people don't understand about business people. You have a president, President Trump. This is not political Mondays, but I have to mention, in terms of the business sense, people not understanding President Trump's, instantaneous changes in behavior and brash decision making. You have to understand that is the entrepreneurial mindset, is the business mindset, is what made him successful and makes any and every businessman successful, is who's entrepreneur, not a manager, entrepreneurial. And that is the ability to turn on a dime, to change directions. Very important for success for the entrepreneur. That is what you have in President Trump, and that's why most people don't get him. They don't understand him because of that reason. Simply, you don't understand the entrepreneurial mindset, and it's not too far to see the similar treatment that entrepreneurs get from people, right? You understand? It's like, go get a regular job. Just quit that. It's not going to work. It's you're dreaming. It's a dream. You're not going to get anywhere. These are the comments. Again, they're antagonistic to the entrepreneurial mindset, and they're negative. And this is what you have also fueling the attacks on people like Donald Trump. Like it or not, people have to face the facts. How to think on your feet. The second thing you will not learn at Harvard Business School. As Mike Tyson quote goes, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. You might be able to compile Gantt charts, spreadsheets, and PowerPoint presentations about activities and goals for Q1 quarter, the first quarter, second quarter of your hypothetical organization, but do you have a plan B, a C, and D outlined too? And a lot of people are not understanding that also in Trump, I use him because he's like the big deal example. He's the elephant in the house, yeah? Because that's what he does. People not they criticize him for making these crazy decisions. I mean, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Then later on, we can see why. Later on, it all starts making sense. Even now, with the economy booming as it is, or booming, um, people are, I guess, I hope some of you are finally getting to realize, wait a minute, maybe all his crazy thinking is working after all. Well, the issue, you have to realize that it's not crazy thinking, it is thinking on your feet. It's a skill that is not even taught in Harvard Business School. Again, where are all the professors on this? They're not thinking on their feet. Where are all the other MBAs on here? All the pros out there, they're also not thinking on their feet. So you guys like to say things like the professors. These professors all agree that, listen, your professors are stuck in not being able to think on their feet, and they're criticizing someone who does. So this is the point. So all of that commentary and attitudes and opinions people have is really, just silly. It's really silly, and it doesn't matter to you unless you're trying to build a business, unless you're trying to be successful, doing something, accomplishing something like building a business. It's not easy, but one of the things you have to love and have the ability to do is thinking on your feet. See, and that is something that no serious entrepreneur could ever criticize that in anyone else. So that's food for thought. What if your customers don't like what you've made? What if a competitor opens up next door? What if your shipment gets stuck at customs? So again, business degrees might teach you the best case scenario, but business owners are constantly dealing with fresh information and edits to plans. So there's always changing strategies. Always the strategy is going to end up being changed. The issue is that the entrepreneur is able to deal with it, is able to go with that flow. It is not a catastrophe that everyone in Congress doesn't agree with President. That's not a catastrophe. He is able to go with the flow. Simply, he makes changes. What he doesn't get now, he'll get later. He'll make a change later. Things that he implements now may not be instantaneously obvious to anyone of its salient benefits or that it was the right or wrong decision. But later on down the road is when you'll see. So, again, these are the things you have to factor in. Third, how business works in practice, because one thing is studying theory in the school, the other thing is actually putting it to work and seeing how it performs in the marketplace. And here she gives a story of to about Sarah Davies, and who got involved with her business parents from a young age, always helping out running errands and lending a hand. So she had always gleaned invaluable context from this experience. When Davies decided to go to university after finishing college, it was her intention to take what she had learned on her course to help the family business further. She thought that a solid understanding of the theory behind the operations would help her run and grow the company that she would take over, or one day take over. Now you see, I think this is where the educational pipe dream is. You begin to wake up from the thought about all your accredited university and going to college and all of that. You need to wake up and smell the coffee, like she did. David said she loved talking through her course material with her dad and coming up with ways she could apply it. Her intention to learn was far higher than others in the class because she had a real sense of purpose for her learning. It was this powerful combination of theory and practice that led to Davies graduating the University of York, having already founded a company with 500,000 turnover. In turnover, I think that it could be the euros there. I have to look at that, but oh, pounds it could be. So in any case, that was she was able to combine the degree, the theory, but with real practical experiences, and obviously her teachers, her professors, seeing her input from real experiences is really valuable. If you're going for a business degree, it's what's suggested here later is that you actually start a business. Starting the business is exactly what you need to do. The other thing, the fourth and final thing that Harvard Business College and no business college will ever be able to teach you and assure for you is who will buy from you. They can't. These are things. The animal of the marketplace, and it's really not something that they can ensure. It's always, you can guess, you can have a feeling. Hey, this looks like this is good. This is a good business. This is a good idea. We've all seen them, and for a whole number of different reasons, things may fall and may not be successful in the marketplace. So nothing there is guaranteed at all. So just going to get thinking that you get a business degree and you're going to be successful in business, that doesn't always work out. It's not the degree, the theory itself is not enough. It's other factors that are involved that make the whole thing work out. Look at how she ends it. Read that whole article; it's really good. But look at how she gets the final advice. She says to get the absolute most of a business degree, start a business at the same time. And that is the best advice that anyone can give you concerning pursuing a business education. And that is start a business, because the best education is learning from hands on experience. Start a business. And a great way to start a business is by going to this URL. It's an easy way for any of you. If any of you are a business student right now and you haven't started a business yet, you really should look into this business for you, especially if you're going for your master's in business administration. You should do this. Just do yourself a favor and join our network. This is like the best thing that you could possibly do. It'll give you the hands-on experience. It will put you straight in front of other businesses, in contact with people with a lot of experience and your ability to teach new people in business a lot of the stuff that you've been learning and theories that you have gotten in school, and combine that with all your learning and understanding and application. This business will be very powerful in your hands. So you really should be looking at that and pursuing success in your business career. And with that, we thank you for watching, and we wait to see you on the other side. Thank you. Take care.